When the Home Secretary stands up and admits the government has lost control of Britain's borders, you know things have gone spectacularly wrong. But here's the kicker. Nigel Farage's reaction wasn't shock or surprise. It was a massive, exhausted eye roll in 4 words that sum up British politics perfectly. We've heard it all before. And honestly, he's not wrong. Welcome back to UK Secrets, where every Home Secretary promises the same thing, delivers nothing, and expects us to pretend this time will be different. Spoiler alert, it won't be. Shabana Mahmood, our shiny new Home Secretary, just hosted a summit in London with counterparts from the Western Balkans and other European allies. The topic? The migrant crisis that's apparently eroding public trust in politicians. Shocking revelation that who could have possibly predicted that failing to control your own borders might make voters slightly annoyed? It's almost like people expect their government to, govern. Wild concept. But Mahmood's solution? International cooperation. The same solution every single Home Secretary has wheeled out since small boats became headline news. It's a political equivalent of, have you tried turning it off and on again? Except the computer's been broken for years and nobody's actually tried fixing it. Let's break down exactly what happened here, because this is political theater at its absolute finest. Mahmood stood up and admitted, publicly, that the government cannot determine who enters or leaves Britain. Read that again. The Home Secretary of the United Kingdom admitted the state has lost control of its own borders. That's not some fringe conspiracy theory. That's the official government position. She went on to say this failure is eroding trust not just in political leaders, but in the credibility of the state itself. Which, fair play, is probably the most honest thing a politician has said in months. But honesty without action is just expensive noise, isn't it? Now here's where Farage comes in, and you can practically hear the exasperation in his voice. On his GB News show, he absolutely tore into Mahmood's statement, pointing out that we've heard this exact speech before. Different Home Secretary, same script, 0 results. Every single one stands up, acknowledges the problem, promises international cooperation, maybe throws in some tough talk about people smuggling gangs, and then absolutely nothing changes. The boats keep coming. The numbers keep rising. And politicians keep acting shocked that the public doesn't trust them anymore. It's like watching someone repeatedly touch a hot stove and express surprise each time it burns them. Farage specifically called out the international cooperation line, and has got a point. International cooperation sounds great in theory. Very diplomatic, very sensible, very we're all in this together. But what does it actually mean in practice? It means Britain's border policy is dependent on the cooperation of multiple foreign governments who have their own priorities, their own political pressures, and frankly, their own reasons for not caring about Britain's problems. You're essentially outsourcing sovereignty to a committee of nations who might not even like you very much. Brexit was supposed to be about taking back control. Remember? How's that working out when your Home Secretary admits you've lost it entirely? But wait, there's more. Mahmood didn't just talk about cooperation. She took a swing at her political opponents, specifically people like Farage, accusing them of wanting to turn inward and seek solutions without international aid. This is the classic political move of framing legitimate concerns as isolationism. If you think Britain should be able to control its own borders without needing permission from a dozen other countries, you're apparently turning your back on the world. It's a straw man argument wrapped in diplomatic language, and it's designed to shut down debate rather than encourage it. Because God forbid we have an actual conversation about whether the current approach is working. Spoiler, it demonstrably isn't. Mahmood also threw in the mandatory line about taking down vile people smuggling gangs, because no migration speech is complete without it. And sure, people smugglers are awful. Nobody's defending them. But here's the uncomfortable truth. As long as there's demand, there will be supply. You can arrest every smuggler in Calais tomorrow, and new ones will pop up the day after because the incentive structure hasn't changed. Crossing the channel illegally still gets you into Britain. Once you're here, the deportation system is so broken that your chances of being sent back are minimal. So why wouldn't people keep trying? The smugglers aren't the root cause. They're a symptom. But it's politically easier to vilify criminals than to admit your entire immigration system is fundamentally broken. Let's talk about what's really happening here beneath all the diplomatic language and political posturing. The government knows they've lost control. They're admitting it openly now. But instead of proposing actual solutions, they are doubling down on the same failed strategy and hoping nobody notices. International cooperation has been the policy for years. It hasn't worked. The Rwanda scheme, whatever you thought of it, at least attempted deterrence. Labour scrapped it without proposing an alternative beyond more talks with European countries who have their own migration crises to deal with. France can't stop the boats leaving their beaches. Why would anyone believe they'll suddenly start now because we asked nicely? And this is exactly why Farage's response resonates with so many people. He's not offering revolutionary insight. He's just pointing out the obvious. We've been here before, multiple times. Different faces, same promises, identical failure. The public isn't stupid. They can see the pattern. Every Home Secretary stands up, acknowledges a crisis, promises action, blames their predecessors, and then delivers nothing. It's political Groundhog Day, except we're all stuck in the loop watching reruns of the same terrible show. And when politicians wonder why trust is eroded, this is exactly why. Not because of the problem itself, but because of the endless cycle of acknowledgement without action. Mahmood said the failure to control borders is eroding trust in the credibility of the state itself. She's absolutely right. But does she understand why? It's not just the boats. It's a combination of promising action while delivering excuses. It's framing reasonable concerns as xenophobia. It's outsourcing responsibility to international partnerships that haven't worked. It's the gap between rhetoric and reality that's become so vast you could sail a fleet of dinghies through it. Which, incidentally, is exactly what's happening in the Channel while politicians hold summits and deliver speeches. Thanks for watching UK Secrets. If you're as tired of hearing the same promises from different politicians as Farage clearly is, hit that like button and subscribe for more brutally honest takes on British politics. Drop a comment telling me whether you think international cooperation can actually work, or if it's just another excuse. See you next time when another politician will inevitably promise to fix the borders while doing absolutely nothing about it. Cheers.